Friends, in lecture 6.4, we have learned few applications based on Coulomb's law. We will continue our discussion with problems based on Coulomb's law in this particular video session. As a part of that, let me solve this simple example. Two small objects, X and Y, are permanently separated by distance 1 centimeter. You have objects X and Y. The separation between these two charges, it is 1 centimeter. Object X has a charge of plus 1 microcoulomb. This has a charge of plus 1 microcoulomb. And object Y has a charge of minus 1 microcoulomb. A certain number of electrons are removed from X. From X we are separating, like we are taking out some electrons, let it be N. N number of electrons are removed and they are added to this. N number of electrons are removed from X and they are added to Y. To make the electrostatic force between two objects an attractive force whose magnitude is 360 Newton. Now the magnitude of the force when you are removing electrons from X and giving it to Y, it has been changed to 360 Newton. Now you should find out the total number of electrons removed. For that, before removing electrons, what is the force value? F is equal to K Q1 Q2 divided by R square. K is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, that is 9 into 10 power 9 into Q1 Q2, it is 10 power minus 6 whole square. 1 microcoulomb, 1 microcoulomb. Micro 10 power minus 6 whole square divided by separation is 1 centimeter, 10 power minus 2 whole square. F is equal to 9 into 10 power 9 into 10 power minus 12 divided by 10 power minus 4. 10 power minus 4 goes here, 10 power minus 8 left over here, and this will be 10 power minus 8 and 10 power plus 8, left is with only 10. So this gives you 90 Newton. Previously the force was only 90 Newton. Now it has been changed to 360 Newton when you are removing n number of electrons. When you remove n number of electrons from X, then what would it happen? This will be Q1 dash, which is equal to, initially its charge is 1 microcoulomb. From this you are separating n number of electrons so that its charge increases, because it is positive, its charge increases by n into E. Clear? Previously the charge is plus 1 microcoulomb. Now as it is plus 1 microcoulomb, you are removing n number of electrons, therefore it becomes still greater positive magnitude, and that will be n number of electrons you are removing. Each electron has charge E, that is Q1 dash. Coming to Q2 dash, this will be, already it is negative charge, minus 1 microcoulomb. When you are adding n number of electrons to this, still it becomes greater negative, so it will be minus of n E. So Q2 dash is equal to minus of 1 micro plus n E, and Q1 dash is equal to 1 micro plus n E, and this is positive. Total force acting between these two charges now can be written as Fe, that is F is equal to K Q1 dash Q2 dash divided by R square. R is the separation between them. Separation is the same. Separation is constant. This gives you 9 into 10 power 9. Q1 dash is 1 micro plus Ne. 1 micro plus Ne. 1 micro plus Ne whole square divided by 10 power minus 2 whole square. And this is F is equal to 1 micro plus Ne whole square. It is 9 into 10 power this minus 4, and from here minus 4, this 4 gets cancelled, so that it will be 5 into 1 into 10 power minus 6 plus n into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb whole square. As F is given to you in the problem, it is 360 divided by 9 into 10 power 5 is equal to 10 power minus 6 into 10 power minus 6 plus n into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 whole square. 9 fours 36, this becomes 40, and this 0 0 10 power 4, 4 divided by 10 power 4 under root is equal to 10 power minus 6 plus n into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Evaluating this, root 4 will be 2 and 10 power 4 is 10 power 2. Bringing this to the other side, it is minus 10 power minus 6 is equal to n into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. N is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 2 minus 10 power minus 6 divided by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Evaluating this, you will be getting n as 6.25 into 10 power 12. So total number of electrons should be removed from X is 6.25 into 10 power 12. Coming to one more simple example. In this problem, it is mentioned that two identical particles of charge Q each are connected by massless spring of force constant K. They are placed over a smooth horizontal surface. They are released when unstretched. If the maximum extension of the spring is R, find the value of K, neglecting the gravitational force. Now let me explain the question. This is horizontal surface. On the horizontal surface, let me take, there are two charges. Here is one charge, here is another charge, and these are identical charges whose charge is Q, and these two are connected with a spring which is massless. And the natural length of this spring, let us take it as L. Natural length of this spring is L. So when it is in rest, its length is L, and these two are separated by that distance initially. And here you can write force as electrostatic force, which is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q square divided by R square. This is electrostatic force acting between two charges. Now what would happen is, because of these two electrostatic force, because of the electrostatic force acting between two charges, there will be outward force Fe, and this is pulled by spring. Electrostatic force will be outward and spring will be acting force inward. This is Fs. This is Fs. Both get balanced at some particular distance. And finally, this system comes to equilibrium. So at equilibrium, electrostatic force magnitude should be equal to spring force magnitude. Electrostatic force magnitude and spring force magnitude should be equal. And it is mentioned that equilibrium is obtained at the maximum extension R. So spring force is equal to K into R. Magnitude of the spring force is K into R. Negative sign I am neglecting because we are taking only magnitude. And this R is separation. Maximum extension of the spring is R. This is 1. This is 2. Using 1 and 2 in equation 3, I can write Fe magnitude is equal to Fs. Substituting that 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square divided by L square. Of course, this is L square is equal to spring force. It is K into R. Now I want to calculate this R. Sorry, K. K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square divided by L square into R. This is the spring constant which is obtained in this problem. Students, let us discuss one more problem. In this particular problem, we have in a liquid medium a dielectric constant K. In a liquid medium which is having dielectric constant K and specific gravity 2. Dielectric constant of the liquid is K mentioned, and specific gravity, it is nothing but relative density. Relative density of the substance is 2. Two identically charged spheres are suspended from a fixed point by threads of equal lengths. So just like how here in this figure it is, there are two equal lengths of threads and the fixed charges are separated by certain distance. The angle between them is 90. It is mentioned that this angle is equal to 90. In other medium of unknown dielectric constant K dash and specific gravity 4, the angle between them becomes 120 degrees. Now what happens is this angle would undergo change because the dielectric constant is varying and as well as specific gravity is varying. If density of material of the sphere is 8 gram per cc, then find out the value of K dash. This is what figure shows. You have charge Q and there is another charge Q. These two charges are separated by certain distance, and this is in the medium where dielectric constant is K and relative density or specific gravity is 2. Taking the same identical charges Q in other medium where dielectric constant increases or changes to K dash and the relative density is becoming 4, these two have separation, say X dash, and the angle has been increased to 120 degrees. You need to find out this K dash value, right? You should now find out the value of K dash. Students, for solving this problem, you should have previous knowledge of relative density and buoyant force. For example, if I am considering an object of mass m which is placed in the liquid, there will be downward force on the solid that is equal to mg, and upward force is buoyant force. Overall, if this body comes downward, I can consider it as F net. Simply you can write F net is equal to downward force, it is mg minus buoyant force. This is the concept you will be learning in class 11. And we know that buoyant force Fb is equal to weight of liquid displaced by solid. Weight of the liquid displaced by the solid when you are immersing it in the liquid. So buoyant force is equal to weight W is equal to M into G. M is mass of the liquid displaced. Mass of the liquid displaced is equal to density of the liquid into acceleration due to gravity into volume of the liquid displaced. Because mass is density into volume. So density of liquid is rho and V is volume. G is acceleration due to gravity. So whenever we are using buoyant force in this particular problem, you need to remember that it is rho L, that is density of the liquid into volume of the liquid into acceleration due to gravity. And the density of the liquid will be equal to relative density into density of water. So however, density of water is 1, therefore density of the liquid will be equal to relative density, and relative density is however given in the problem, that will be 2 and 4. And density of the material, of course, it is given to you directly, that is 8 gram per cc. So density of the liquid will be equal to relative density in CGS units. These are the things you need to know prior solving this problem. Now I will be using these concepts, and first I will explain the question and then we will go for solution. And remember, this is what we are going to use. Buoyant force is equal to rho L VL into G, and density of the liquid is relative density approximate, that its magnitude will be equal to relative density. Now coming to this figure, here in this first part, relative, this is dielectric constant K, and a relative density, it is 2, right? The electrostatic force acting between two charges will be F, which is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Instead of that, you can write it as K epsilon naught, because here we are using some another medium. That medium has permittivity epsilon 1. Epsilon 1 permittivity can be written as epsilon 1 is equal to K dielectric constant into epsilon. That is what I have used here, and it is Q square divided by separation between these two. I can consider it as X square. Let me take this as equation 1. That is electrostatic force acting between two charges. Now when you are placing this particular charge in the liquid, what actually happens is, here it is tension T, weight will be acting in downward, and apart of that there is a buoyant force acting upward, and this buoyant force will be equal to rho, which is rho L, density of the liquid, into volume into acceleration due to gravity. Now taking free body diagram for this, we have tension T, and there will be electrostatic force outward and buoyant force upward. Weight will be acting in downward. This is mass of the solid into acceleration due to gravity. And tension, you can resolve it into components. One component this side and the other component this side. As we know, this is 90, then this becomes 45, and this becomes 45. Therefore, this is T cos 45, and this is T sin 45. Overall, the system is in equilibrium. So, electrostatic force will be equal to T sin 45, and this side it will be mass of the solid into acceleration due to gravity is equal to T cos 45, which is upward component, plus Beerwand force is equal to density of the liquid, acceleration due to gravity, and volume of the liquid displaced. From here, T cos 45 is equal to mass of the solid is density of the solid into volume of the solid, and volume of liquid displaced both are equal. Rho S minus rho L into V into G. This is T cos 45. Let me take this as equation 2, this as equation 3. Dividing 2 by 3 gives you T and T gets cancelled. Sin 45 by cos 45, it is tan 45. This is equal to Fe, which is electrostatic force, divided by rho S minus rho L into Vg. This is equation number 4. Now, using the same concept for 120 degrees, I can write it is as it is 120, it gets divided into half. That will be 60 and 60. Finally, you can write it as tan 60 is equal to Fe dash. Because dielectric constant is variable, it becomes Fe dash divided by density of the solid, it does not change, minus density of the liquid changes, it is rho L dash, into volume of the solid is not changing, so it is V into G. This is equation number 5. Now we know tan 45 value and tan 60 value. Taking these two, you can use equation 4 and equation 5. Solving these equations, it is equation 4 divided by equation 5 gives you tan 45, it is 1, divided by tan 60, it is root 3 is equal to Fe, which is electrostatic force. I can write it as 1 by 4 pi K epsilon naught into Q square divided by X square divided by, and it is rho S minus rho L into Vg whole divided by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q square by, epsilon naught into K dash, and Q square divided by separation between those two, let me take it as X dash whole square, whole divided by this denominator part, it is rho S minus rho L dash V into G. You can cancel few terms from here, and that will be Vg over here, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught you can cancel, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught you can cancel, Q square gets cancelled, left over will be K by X square by rho S minus rho L, and here it is left over will be K dash, and this two terms and this one. I'll erase few things. Writing those over here, it will be 1 by root 3 is equal to 1 by k x square divided by, leftover is rho s minus rho l, and whole divided by 1 by k dash x dash square divided by rho s minus rho l dash. This is the leftover term. Students, from figure you can calculate x and x dash. This is 45. It is x by 2. So sine 45 can be written as x by 2 divided by L. From here you can write x is equal to 2L sine 45. And for 120 degrees it is x dash, which is 2L sine 60. Substituting this x and x dash values over there and densities of the liquids over there, you can find out k dash. Students, solving this particular term is 1 by 3 is equal to 1 by kx square divided by rho s minus rho l. So solving this particular equation which we have obtained in this solution, solving this total, you will be getting k dash is equal to, I have solved it, it is k dash is equal to k divided by root 3. You can check these steps by pausing the video. You can pause a video for a while and you can go through these all individual steps which I have used it in the solution.